Quick question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your driving skills? Be honest. Now, how would you rate your sense of humor? If you're like most people, you probably rated yourself a 7, an 8, maybe even a 9. You're above average. Now, here's the problem. In study after study, when asked to rate themselves, a staggering 93% of people say they are above average drivers. This mathematical impossibility has a name. It's called the Lake Wobegon Effect, and it reveals a fundamental glitch in the way we see ourselves. So why do we do this? Why does almost everyone believe they are better than the median? The first reason is ambiguity. What does above-average driver even mean? Does it mean you have fast reflexes, that you've never gotten a ticket, that you're great at parallel parking? The definition is fuzzy, so our brain conveniently defines good as whatever we happen to be good at. It's a self-serving definition. The second reason is a cognitive bias called egocentric bias. We have a high-definition movie of our own good intentions, but we only see a grainy, silent film of everyone else's actions. We judge ourselves by our intentions. We judge others by their behavior. The third reason is simple self-esteem. It feels good to be above average. It's a psychological defense mechanism. Thinking you're better than most is a warm, comfortable blanket in a cold, competitive world. Okay, so it's a harmless quirk, right? Just a funny feature of our psychology? Wrong. The Lake Wobegon Effect can be incredibly dangerous. First, it leads to overconfidence. The driver who thinks they're above average is the one who texts and drives. They think, I can handle it. It creates complacency. If you already believe you're a great leader or a great partner, why would you put in the work to actually improve? The second danger is an inability to take feedback. If you're above average, then any criticism must be wrong. The person giving the feedback must be jealous or stupid, or they just don't get it. This bias makes you uncoachable and stunts your growth. And the third danger, it poisons teams. In one study, 90% of managers rated their performance as being in the top 10% of their peers. When everyone on a team thinks they are the star player carrying the weight, it leads to resentment, conflict, and a total breakdown of collaboration. So how do we escape Lake Wobegon? How do we see ourselves clearly without destroying our self-esteem? Step 1, get specific. Don't ask, am I a good public speaker? That's ambiguous. Instead, ask, what is one specific thing I could have done to make my opening more engaging? Specific questions bypass the ego stroking and give you concrete, actionable data. Step 2, define better. Don't just aim to be a better writer. Aim to reduce my average sentence length by 2 words. Make your goals objective and measurable. This moves you from the world of vague self-assessment to the world of tangible progress. Step 3, practice intellectual humility. Actively seek out dissenting opinions. Embrace the idea that you might be wrong. The smartest people in the room aren't the ones who are always right. They're the ones who are fastest to admit they're wrong and adapt. And step 4, keep a failure resume. A list of your mistakes, missteps, and bad calls, and what you learn from each one. This exercise does 2 things. It normalizes failure, and it forces you to see yourself as a work in progress, not a finished product. The goal of escaping the Lake Wobegon Effect is not to feel bad about yourself. It's not to believe you are below average. That's just as useless. The goal is to get out of the ranking business altogether. Your value as a person is not determined by your position on a bell curve. True growth begins when you stop comparing yourself to others and start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. The most above-average people are often the ones who are most aware of how much they have yet to learn. They are humble, curious, and always seeking to improve. The paradox is that the moment you stop needing to be above average is the moment you start becoming truly exceptional. So the next time you feel that little spark of pride that you're better than the person in the next car or the colleague in the next cubicle, smile. Acknowledge that ancient, ego-protecting glitch in your brain. And then ask a better question. How can I be a little bit better tomorrow than I was today? That is the only ranking that truly matters.